PUBG Mobile is one of those rare games that didn't just ride the wave of a trend, it defined it. When it launched globally in 2018, it wasn't just another Battle Royale port. It was proof that a game as massive and demanding as PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds could work on a pocket-sized device, and not just in a watered-down way, but with its own identity, its own momentum, and eventually its own ecosystem. At its core, PUBG Mobile keeps the same premise that put the original PUBG on the map. You and up to 99 others drop into a large open map, scavenging for weapons, gear, and vehicles, with one simple goal: be the last person or squad standing as the play zone keeps shrinking. But what makes the mobile experience unique is how it adapts that formula for touch controls, smaller session lengths, and a wider global audience. The maps themselves are the backbone of the game. Erangel, the iconic green battleground with fields, forests, and cities like Pochinki, quickly became familiar territory for millions of players. Miramar brought in wide, desert landscapes with long-range sniping opportunities. Sandhawk shrunk the scale, forcing faster encounters in its jungle terrain, while Vikendi mixed snowy environments with abandoned towns, and later additions like Livik gave players short, chaotic rounds tailored for mobile play. Each map has its own pace, and PUBG Mobile smartly rotates them to keep the experience fresh. Gameplay progression is tied deeply into its seasonal model. Every couple of months, a new Royale Pass launches, offering a ladder of unlocks that mix cosmetics, outfits, weapon skins, and sometimes emotes or parachutes. This system rewards both free-to-play players with steady unlocks and paying players with premium tiers and accelerated progression. Beyond the pass, PUBG Mobile constantly injects collaborations. Everything from Godzilla and Spider-Man to K-pop bands and anime crossovers, which reshape maps, bring themed skins, or add limited-time modes. These events keep the game feeling alive, turning what could have been a static shooter into a living service. Mechanically, PUBG Mobile adapts the original PC controls into a surprisingly fluid touchscreen setup. You move with a left-side virtual joystick, aim and shoot with customizable buttons, and even get options for auto pickup, gyroscope aiming, and different firing modes for weapons. For players who want a competitive edge, the game supports external controllers and even offers a dedicated PC emulator called GameLoop, blurring the line between mobile and desktop play. Gunplay is a huge part of why PUBG Mobile holds up. The weapons feel distinct. Whether it's the punch of the AKM, the spray potential of the UMP, or the reliable M416, attachments matter, recoil control feels earned, and firefights can swing on positioning and decision-making just as much as raw aim. Vehicles, jeeps, motorcycles, boats, and even armored trucks in special events add mobility and chaos, forcing players to weigh speed against exposure. The story and characters in PUBG Mobile aren't front and center in the traditional sense, but Tencent has steadily built a kind of loose lore around the game through cinematic trailers, themed events, and seasonal narratives. Over the years, they've introduced mysterious factions, futuristic settings, and even supernatural themes, layering an evolving narrative over what is essentially a sandbox survival shooter. Artistically, PUBG Mobile balances realism with accessibility. The maps are grounded, with believable architecture, environmental details, and a muted but immersive palette. Characters, however, lean into spectacle. Outfits range from gritty military gear to neon cyberpunk suits, samurai armor, and goofy costumes like dinosaurs or clowns. It's this duality that appeals to both hardcore players who want immersion and casual players who want self-expression. The sound design plays a massive role in the tension of matches. Footsteps are directional, gunfire echoes across terrain, and vehicles rumble distinctly, allowing savvy players to gather information without visuals. Wearing good headphones becomes almost a requirement, especially in competitive play, and the game even offers visual sound indicators for accessibility. The soundtrack itself shifts season to season, but the lobby themes and event music always set the tone for the current theme. Performance-wise, PUBG Mobile has evolved dramatically. Early on, it was notorious for draining batteries and stuttering on mid-range devices, but optimizations and light versions have made it accessible to almost any phone. High-end devices push HDR graphics, 90 frames per second gameplay, and detailed textures, while budget phones can scale down without breaking core gameplay. Tencent and Krafton have kept the technical side surprisingly robust, which is one reason why the game has remained relevant. Monetization is a mix of cosmetics, battle passes, and gacha-style crate openings. The core game remains free, and crucially, no weapon upgrades or pay-to-win systems affect damage output. Skill still defines victories. That said, the cosmetic ecosystem is aggressive, with flashy skins often locked behind expensive lucky spins, premium passes, or limited bundles. It's easy to see how players can spend hundreds chasing rare items, but at least none of it changes the balance of play. Replayability is essentially infinite because no two rounds play the same. The shrinking circle, random loot, shifting weather, and unpredictability of human opponents make every match a fresh challenge. Add in ranked modes, casual arcades like Team Deathmatch or Payload, with helicopters and rockets, and rotating events, and there's always a new way to engage. The community reception has been huge, particularly in regions like India, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, where PUBG Mobile isn't just a game but a cultural phenomenon. Tournaments, streaming, and esports have grown into massive industries, with players gaining celebrity status. Even with temporary bans in some regions due to political disputes, the player base remains enormous, with billions of downloads and consistent daily activity. The developers, Tencent Games, Lightspeed, and Quantum Studio, deserve credit for keeping the game evolving. They've introduced anti-cheat systems, constant balancing, new modes, and graphical overhauls, ensuring PUBG Mobile doesn't feel stagnant. Compared to rivals like Free Fire, which leans arcade, or Call of Duty Mobile, which blends multiple modes, PUBG Mobile remains the go-to for a more grounded, tactical battle royale. In the end, PUBG Mobile succeeds because it translates the thrill of survival, the heart-pounding rush of being one of the last 10 alive, the satisfaction of clutching a chicken dinner, the communal laughter of chaotic squad runs into a format you can carry in your pocket. It's not perfect, with its monetization sometimes predatory and its controls always slightly less precise than a mouse and keyboard, but it's one of the most complete and enduring battle royale experiences out there. If you want fast, flashy, arcade chaos, there are alternatives. But if you want tension, strategy, and a balance of realism and spectacle, PUBG Mobile still reigns supreme as the definitive mobile battle royale. That's all for today's review. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.
Marked a location.